If you're serious about building a 7-figure agency, you don't need to waste your money on dozens and dozens of tools. You just need the right ones. I built my agency on 4 core tools, and I'm gonna break those down for you here today. By the end of this video, you're gonna know the exact tools that we utilize, how much they cost, and most importantly, how to implement those tools to help scale your agency most efficiently. Let's dive in. When I first started my agency, it was an absolute mess. Managing projects manually, chasing down clients for payment, and just wasting hours and hours on things that should absolutely be automated. But once I tried dozens and dozens of tools and finally nailed it down to a core 4, that changed everything. These 4 tools streamlined my operations, automated my workflows, and helped me scale this agency to 7 figures. Here are the 4 essential tools to help run your 7-figure agency. The first, and one of my favorite tools of all time, is Slack. Slack is wonderful, but you need to utilize it correctly. And so what we do in our agency is every project and every client gets their own Slack channel. That way everything is organized well. And speaking of organization, I might be crazy in this, but I believe every message needs to be in a thread. That means when you're looking at a channel, you don't just see a flood of a ton of messages. You see the initial message, and then inside that message, you see a thread of replies to that message. And that is key for staying organized, because then when you go back and you're trying to remember something, you don't have to filter through a bunch of messages. They are all organized into that one thread. And of course, they're also in that organized channel for that project. And of course, the nice thing with Slack is the instant messaging. You get immediate answers. You get to communicate with your team if they're not in the office, and contractors. It just helps keep everyone organized and allows you to chat instantly. It also integrates with a lot of the tools that we're going to talk about here. So the benefits is you're getting real-time communication and organization. It's easily integrated with many of the most popular tools. And there's a free plan that most companies can get away with that we started with years ago. And the pricing, like I said, you can get that free plan. And then it also, at the time of filming this video, is $7.25 per user. I think the biggest benefit with the paid plan is being able to search the entire history of your messages. I believe with the free plan, there's an expiration date of like 90 days that they keep the history. So I think that's the biggest difference, but that's the core feature that they sort of dangle above you while you're on that free plan. The second one is ClickUp, which I am absolutely obsessed with. It is a project management suite. We have utilized Asana previously, but I've just found that ClickUp is more feature rich and actually has a lot more organization and more technical features that I really like as sort of a tech nerd that I am. Why I use it is because every project has their own set of tasks and documents and deadlines and organization. They even started rolling out their chat feature, which is very similar to Slack. And I can imagine that in due time, we may have to shift over there because then everything is in one place. You're communicating about a certain project or client, the tasks are there, the documents are there, and we just love it. I also love that this is a central place for our internal projects and then our clients as their own projects, and then even my own personal projects. I keep them all online there. And if they have due dates, of course, they combine them and have a general view for me. I also utilize this for some productivity practices that I love, which is creating what I've called Project Hub docs. And so every project we work on, we have a centralized document. That way you don't need to bounce around into all these areas in communication. If you have a meeting, you update the document. If you're chatting in Slack, update the document, and it just is a central hub for knowledge. And so that document will live in that project as well. So they also have the tasks. You can view it in any sort of way. They have Kanban boards, if you're familiar, and dashboards, and just so many ways to organize these projects. And then some of the technical things that I really like about it is custom fields. For every different project type, there might be certain things that we want to add in there. So for example, some of the business ideas that I've had, we have some custom fields in there that are like, what is the business lift on a scale from 1 to 5? What's the business cost on a scale from 1 to 5? And some other things that help us sort of prioritize. And then of course, for the automation crazy person that I am, they offer a whole suite of internal automations that you can do throughout the platform. So the pros are that it's very, very highly customizable. The automations reduce a lot of the manual work, and there's a free plan available. For the pricing on this, again, the free plan is available here too. And then it just starts at $5 per user per month. Just like with Slack, I upgraded when I wanted to keep more of the messaging history. The reason I upgraded in ClickUp is the amount of custom fields that I wanted to add. Otherwise, honestly, most businesses can probably thrive on the free plan. All right, number 3 is High Level, AKA Go High Level, AKA GHL. And when I talk about being obsessed with a product, I know I might have said that before, but this is the one that has changed everything for my business. Your all-in-one tool for every single business. I mean, I've canceled so many things. It has the landing page builder, so I got rid of ClickFunnels. It has the calendar integration, so I got rid of Calendly. It has a ton of their own automation, so I saved a ton of money on Zapier, and so much more: two-way texting, emailing, social planner, affiliate program. If I went through all the list of features, we'd be here for hours. But one of the really cool things that it does for my agency is that you build these things called snapshots. So these snapshots for, let's say, a chiropractor, it has the landing page funnel, the two-way texting automations, the automated messaging, the AI, the calendar, the CRM, the pipelines. It has that all built out. We've built this out over the years. And so when we sign on a client, their account spins up in a matter of seconds, and the account is 90% the way there. So that's saved us hours and hours and hours. We've built this snapshot up over the years, and it is just perfect. And another sort of technical thing that I really, really love about it is it's powered by custom values. Custom values are basically these values that you change in one area, and then it changes it throughout the whole system. So for example, on the chiropractic note, let's say for any offering, we have this certain price point. And let's say it's $99 for whatever you're offering. If the client wants to change that to $79, you're gonna have to go into the landing page, to the automated messaging, the emails, maybe in so many areas. But with these custom values, you change it in that one area. That code references that one area all over the platform. And so we use this heavily to where we're really not going into any of the system stuff, into the messaging and all that, because we just have this thing built out really well. So we also use this for our own agency and our various businesses. So we have our pipelines in there tailored to our business, our two-way texting, our messaging, our calendars, appointment availability, our AI bots, etc. They are all tailored for our business. So we not only offer this to our customers, but we utilize this internally heavily, and it's just been a game changer for us. The reason we like it is it's a absolute all-in-one CRM with automation and just so many marketing tools that help businesses grow. We've reduced the need for multiple subscriptions, and it's absolutely a game changer for agencies to be able to scale. Their pricing starts at $97 a month. I believe that's for one account. Basic plan is $97 a month. And then their next level is $297, which is the agency unlimited plan. And then they continue to go up from there. So our agency, we have the highest level plan. And then they allow you to upgrade to certain things, like we are HIPAA compliant because we deal with a lot of health practices. We have our own iPhone and Android app in the store. So that was another service that we've gotten from them. This isn't just High Level's app in the store. This is our agency's automated practice app in the store, which is really cool. And tool number 4, I actually mentioned it before, is Zapier. And this is for the next level advanced automations. And basically what Zapier is, if you're not a technical person, a lot of softwares rely on what's called an API. And that's just the way for each software to sort of have this external language, if you will, that allows other softwares or coders or developers to sort of interact with that tool. And so Zapier came along to make this a lot easier for clients to do that. So for example, one of the common things that we often automate is when a form is filled out, whether it be on High Level or even a Google form, when it's filled out, we do a bunch of things, and that has to be done in Zapier because that one form fill, which would be the trigger, that might create a project in ClickUp, and then it might assign some tasks in ClickUp. It might fill out a role in this Google Sheet. So we use the Google Suite and we have Google Sheets. So we have a client database, for example. And so we might add a client to our client database with all their information. And then it might send out a invoice to the client. So that Zap, which is a Zapier sort of workflow, just is able to have one trigger and then talk to a bunch of other softwares and do some automations that are needed there. High Level has actually allowed me to remove a lot of the Zaps or Zapier workflows and save a lot of money there. But Zapier is still the king of tying these all together. I imagine in a few years, I might not need it because High Level is just constantly adding new things and allowing me to slowly chip away at Zapier, but we still absolutely love it. So we love it because it saves time and allows us to pretty much automate everything. There's no coding required, and it works with thousands and thousands of apps. The pricing, there is a free plan available here as well. And then it starts at about $20 a month going forward. So here's some examples of some automations that we use that you need to implement for your agency to start scaling. So our first one is massive, and that's our enrollment workflow. So we have in Zapier as soon as our salesperson fills out the enrollment form. So they're on the phone, they gather all the answers from the client. It's their name, their address. So it's the client's contact info, what packages they're signing on for, and so much more. And so what that does is that sends out a welcome email to the client. It actually builds Google Drive folders for them to upload assets to us and includes that in the welcome email. It adds to our client database, that Google Sheet I mentioned. It sends an invoice. It creates that ClickUp project. It creates the tasks that are needed to fulfill on this client. It assigns those tasks to our team members. And then a few more things like sending out that agreement for the client to sign. So that welcome email, there's an onboarding form for the client to fill out. And so once they fill out that form, the next major workflow kicks off in Zapier. So what it does is it first completes one of the ClickUp tasks, which is basically follow up with the client to make sure they fill out the form. So it automatically completes that, and then it assigns more tasks to our client to fulfill. And one of the major ones is to customize what's needed, what's left on that high level account. Because also in this workflow, my most favorite thing is it goes into high level, it uses the snapshot that I told you about and generates what's called a high level location for the client. It basically spins up that account for them super quickly, literally in seconds. And then all of a sudden their high level account is 90% the way there. And so those ClickUp tasks sort of bring it home. They have, maybe just a few little things to customize that account in the landing pages and fill out some of those custom values that we talked about. And of course, like I said in another video, there's a SOP in those tasks. So my team knows exactly what to do. So then as the client goes through these stages of onboarding, the next stage would be that they schedule their onboarding call. And of course, there's, automations just strictly in high level for the reminders and so forth. And then also in high level, after the onboarding call, what we do is our team builds out the paid ads for them. And then we have a system that was strictly built in high level to where our team only has to fill out a couple fields. And all of a sudden that sends a message to the client saying, hey, your ads are ready to review. Here's the steps on how to review them and approve them. So then our client also gets a very quick form to fill, and it's, yes, I approve, or no, here's some things that I want changed. They fill that out. There's automations that go to us to notify our team. And then once they're ready to go live, we move them over in high level to live, and that shoots out an email to our client and says your ads are live. It gives them a whole thing, shoots out an email to them, sets expectations, etc. It also adds them to another workflow that kicks off 2 weeks later that shoots them an email, checking in with them automatically, and then also letting them know of some other services that are included in their offering. So I know that was quite a bit, but I just wanted to give you a little more insight into the key automations that will really help, but really give you the 4 core tools that are really going to help your agency grow and scale. If any of these tools or automations piqued your interest and you want me to really, really deep dive and share my screen and show these automations in depth, I would love if you let me know in the comments. And if you found this helpful, I would love if you liked and subscribed. I'll see you on the next video.